Hello, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Brigitta Toruño, and welcome to Uno Soul's Chat. I am honored to be chatting today with Lisa Geraci Rigoni.
Very good.
Great. I want to make sure I was saying it correctly. And she is an Uno Soul. She is the author of the book, 17 Spatulas and the Man Who Fried an Egg. Reclaim Your Space Mentally and Physically. And I love this title, and we'll talk more about that. Lisa is the owner and the CDO, which I love that too, the Chief Declutter Officer of the Organizing Mentors. And it's a company that specializes in home, organization, and move management, and is also a certified company with the National Association of Senior and Specialty Move Managers. Lisa has been helping her clients reclaim their space mentally and physically since 2008. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Brigitta. I'm so excited to be here. I
I'm so
really
glad you're
am.
here, and
Thank you.
congratulations on this book. I'm so proud of you. Can you tell me what does it feel like to add the title of author to your resume?
Uh, it's it's something that I never thought I would. It was not on my list. It was just something that has manifested in my world in the last couple years. I started during COVID. I got together with a writing person that I paid through the years, and I said, let's put together the little system, which is name of the company used to be Leave It to Lisa. And so I created the little system, LITL, Leave It to Lisa. And I talk about that. I do presentations. That's what I did a lot during COVID, and this is, my proprietary system on how we work with our clients.
Nice.
And so I said, let's do this. Let's just get this down so I can have a little pamphlet to hand out and, give to clients or give to presentations and, people that come to the presentations. So we're doing that. And my marketing team had a friend that was going to start a writing group. And she said, hey, Deb Haynes, do you want to talk to her? I was like, sure, because I don't know the first thing. I mean, we are almost done with the book, I thought.
Yeah.
And then when I started talking about my business to the group and what we do and how, holding on to stuff and reclaiming your space. And, we just started talking about more the why of what I do. And everyone said, that's your book, Lisa. You have to write that first. So that's why my book came to be because yeah, I know you haven't gotten yours yet, but
yeah, it's supposed to come today. I wish I had it, but I have read it because I downloaded the Kindle version. I
right.
bought
Thank
that from
you.
Amazon, and I just love it. It really is
Thanks.
so well done.
Thank
Um,
you.
you know, I love so many things about it. But before I get into that, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about 17 and and how that's special to you and how you came up with the title.
Well, today is February 17th, and like I said, when we were going back and forth on dates, this would have been my dad's 90th birthday. So when you said, "How about the 17th?" I said, "Yes, yes, let's do this
Yeah,
on the 17th because
it's special.
yes, it's very special." And 2 years ago, I actually started. That was the first day of my book writing. Well, the second day after my book writing group, when I started writing
Wow.
my book was on my
Wow.
dad's 88th birthday. So yeah, it's
Wow.
been 2 years in the making, and up and down, all the whole 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's really special to see, come full circle. But so the 17, it's just a number. And everyone asked me, like, how did you come up with the title? My brother and I actually came up with it just joking around one day. And so 17 is always a number. And I wrote this in the book. You probably remember that I just used to exaggerate on
Yeah.
anything,
Yes.
Oh, we had 17, I don't know, 17 margaritas. Oh my gosh, that would kill us. But, it's just a number, I have 17 pairs of shoes. She had, he had, I don't know, 17 of everything.
I get that because I do the same thing, and mine has been 29. You can ask anybody. I'm like, yep, 29 this, 29 that, and it just feels good to say
It
it.
just comes out. Yeah. And mine's
Yeah,
17. So I don't know. Just feel good on your mouth, but on your mouth. So then I met a woman who had 17 spatulas.
I
And
love that story.
so it was so tender and loving and wonderful watching her go through her kitchen and her spatulas and tell me about them. And when we found out that she had 17, no, I don't believe you, And I was just in the house yesterday and there were probably 12, 13 of them. So,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not people who love to cook, there's always a new one.
Right.
And so that was that was like, oh, I can't believe this, And
Yeah.
then and also to describe my business, I used to say, we can help with the 17 spatulas in your kitchen, to whole house moves and pack ups and organizing and selling. And so it was just kind of a thing that I used to say. And then I met a woman who had 17 spatulas. So what we do for our business, in our business and with our clients is really, it's huge. So the 17 spatulas seems like an easy task, right? You're going through your kitchen, you're getting rid of things. We find peace organizing, getting things out of the house that don't serve us anymore. And then the man who fried an egg is a gentleman I worked with, who you have to read in the book, who I worked with for about 8 months. And he was a hoarder, and he had a lot of traumatic events that happened in his life. And what we learned from each other, how he grew, how I grew in those 8 months. He helped me through some situations. I helped him through, it was a lot of drinking coffee and talking and why are you holding on to this? What does this mean? And a lot of healing happened for both of us. And so those are the clients that we work with. I don't think I don't know how other organizing companies work. Obviously, I mean, I have friends who are organizers, but like it's doing what seems like a simple task, going through your kitchen utensils to changing someone's life completely. And
Yes.
yeah, so, and this is a compilation, the book is really a compilation of stories of my clients. I mean, I have tons more that I could write, but the point is how we hold on to stuff mentally and physically that doesn't serve us anymore, and just acknowledging those. And then when you acknowledge something, you're aware of it, then you have a choice. Okay,
Yeah.
what do I do with it? I can stay the same or I can change. It really depends on your goal. So
Yeah.
it's been a wonderful
Absolutely.
process going through this.
Yeah, you and I talked a little bit before this chat, that the whole idea of holding on to things, and then the challenge that it is to let go, and
Yep.
and how you go 180 degrees, and how you feel about yourself on all the different levels, right?
Mm-hmm,
Physically,
mm-hmm.
emotionally, spiritually. And I just love how you approach your clients, and you talked about this in different chapters, and when you were talking about different clients, the
Mm-hmm.
whole idea of asking them, how are you doing? How not how are your what's going on with your things? Why do you have all these material things? You
Yeah.
don't start there. And I think it's because, and you said it in your book, like, you see them, you hear them, and
Mm-hmm.
that is everything. I
Yep.
think people just, they want that so much, to simply be seen and
Yep.
heard. And different circumstances in life sometimes gets you away from that
Right.
opportunity. And you
Exactly.
do that for them, and change their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And in turn, like I learned from people too. I'm sure, like in any business,
Yeah.
if you're truly connected and you really want to help the person, you have to learn something about yourself, or even say, oh, that was good, that was a good job, you
Yeah.
said the right thing, or they said the right thing to you. And it's not about, my goal has never been, and clients who are attracted to us know that we're not the pretty organizers. Your house will be pretty how you want it, but we're not going to come in and stage everything, because anyone can take crap out of a house and stage the picture. We're more about how you feel when we leave. Like, how are you feeling? Some people are very relieved when we leave, of course, because it's overwhelming and it's emotional. But that relief is also like, oh, you just feel lighter, you just feel better. And it is really about acknowledging the person, because a lot of our clients, they haven't been acknowledged. They're not confident in themselves in a lot of ways about their stuff, and mentally and physically, right? So when they reach out, I always say this: I'm so proud of you for reaching out, because that's the hardest step. It really is.
It is. It really is. Yeah. There was one quote in your book that you said, grow through what you go through, was on page 74.
Yeah.
And I just love that, because I think life is about growing, hopefully, right? It's to get yourself to that next stage. And sometimes we don't. We grow. We're stagnant. And then it's really it's nobody but yourself that can sort of go, okay, wait, I think I have to go through a change here. Some of this is going to involve getting organized. I have to start here. Yeah. So that
totally.
I love that quote.
And I think even if you don't feel like you change, I don't know how to say this. Like, you stay stagnant, but it's still where you should be.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
At that moment, right?
At that moment, yeah.
Yeah. I always talk about, in this present moment, right? To sort of acknowledge that, well, this is where I am. This is where I am. I'm doing the best I can in this place.
It's what I have, right?
And it's like you said, until I'm ready to dial your phone number, right, and say, okay, I need help.
Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of people can say you need help, you're a hoarder, you're this, you're that, but until you're ready inside, something clicks, and it's like, okay, I'll call. And like the stories in your book were wonderful, because even once they call, they're like, oops, wrong number. Some people are not quite ready.
No.
But the other thing I loved about your book is that it intertwined your beautiful life story along with the story of organization and clients. So
thank you.
I loved it. It's like a memoir, within this book. And how did that come about, and how does it feel?
How did that come about, and how does it feel? When I was so I'm admitting to everybody, I didn't actually write a book, because I can't type. I mean, I'm a very bad typer. So I got a headset. So I talked all the stories to my computer. It printed it out. Because I have ADD, and I think too fast sometimes for even my mouth to talk, because I go all over the place, and definitely knew I couldn't type, because you edit before you type, So I just did that. And I think the stories about me, my stories, my life has, like I say all the time in my book and in life, has gotten me right to the point I am today. And I connect with my clients because, yes, maybe I haven't had loss of a child, or my husband hasn't died, or, my house hasn't burned down, so, but I can relate because the feelings are universal. And so throwing my stories in, I mean, admitting I had ADD, and I don't admit, I mean, I'm proud of it because it's made me who I am. But when I say that to people on the phone, they're like, oh, I think I do too. Okay, well, okay, then we connect. And I think knowing someone on that level makes it easier to relate, like anything else. So putting my stories in just seemed right, and my family stories. Like, this is how I grew up. I mean, I come to this business honestly. My parents collected stuff. They loved stuff. And as they got older, it got more. And so I understand that need for stuff. What are we filling up? You know, like anything else. I even say, I mean, I've had my weight, we've known each other for years. My weight, everything has gone up and down. It's the same thing. You hold on to something and you try to protect yourself in some way. But like we learned with the man who fried an egg, it really doesn't protect you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it isolates you even more.
That's right.
So how does it feel getting my story out? Again, it's nothing is in there that I wouldn't say to anyone, stranger on the street. But knowing that when me and my editor were done with the book and I sent it to the publisher, I was like, oh, okay, like now it's out there. Like strangers will be reading it, and again, I'm not ashamed of it. There's nothing to be like, but it's, ooh, you know, I felt a little naked there for a second, you know, and I still kind of do. But if it teaches somebody, I just got an email. Let me just say this. I just got an email from a realtor friend of mine who shared my book, a quote from my book. And a realtor friend of hers wrote back and said, it was the amount of visual clutter is directly related with the clutter inside, like the trauma and the stuff we hold on to. I don't know the exact quote. And she wrote back saying, I had no idea that's why I live the way I live, because of the trauma that I have not acknowledged or have not talked about. I mean, I just got goosebumps because I said
me too.
That is why I want people, what I want people to get from the book. Like,
that's the
you're
why.
not alone, and you're, you know, that's the why, you know?
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, what was your intention?
And that was my intention. Yeah.
That was exactly, it captured someone. It opened their eyes to, oh, that sounds like me. And wow, things can change, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful. That was this morning. Oh my gosh, I know.
Beautiful. And yet the book is now #1 on Amazon. Can you tell us about that? It's so exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's great. Well, my publisher is very good, Spotlight Publishing, and you can put the book in many categories. We have it in self-help, we have it in men's health, we have it in compulsive behavior, we have it in lots of different areas, even though it's not a book necessarily about hoarding, about that. It does touch the surface of just holding on to stuff. So she was just able to put me in as many categories, and I believe it's 11 categories. We hit #1. So it's crazy. And 11 is another one of my favorite numbers.
Oh, okay.
11, yeah.
Yeah, I love that number too. Great. That's wonderful. So happy for you.
Thank you.
Benjamin Franklin said, for every minute spent in organizing, an hour is earned. Have you heard that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true, right?
So true. Yep.
Yeah, you've probably seen this. You know, I mean, and I don't even take it literally, right? It's not you're actually earning an hour, but it's like freeing. It's like liberating, really, to be organized. Yeah, when my mother passed away, it was about, I think, 18 years ago. And I didn't know you then, otherwise I would have used your services. My mother
I wasn't even doing this then, actually.
Yeah.
Not really, no.
But she was somewhat of a hoarder. And I think it's hard for me to say it, but really she was a hoarder. I should just say it. She was a hoarder. And I can't tell you how hard it was as an only child, especially as her only caregiver, to go through all of that. And I had I did have help, and I don't think I knew of an organ, I didn't know what an organizer was back then, but boy, could I have used your services on so many levels, on so many levels. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I talk about in the book, and also at any presentation that I do is do it now. Like, do it with your family now, because I have an only child, and that's my biggest fear one of my biggest fears And I don't want to leave that for her. You're grieving. You don't know where to start. You don't know what's important. I just had a conversation. I have this conversation on every talk I do, because you don't know what's important to your parents. You don't know where they bought it. It's not monetarily valuable. It's the valuable. It's what, it could be a $3 ring from Ring Pop. You got one. It doesn't matter. It's what was important. And I've been in houses. I did a live maybe 2 years ago. It was during COVID, or right after COVID. And the woman had passed away. She had no family. We were hired by her friend, who was the power of attorney. And I remember doing a live outside of her house with me and my 2 organizers. And I started crying because I was grateful that we were there to help the person. But I was going through her life.
Yeah.
Her life, and trying to respect it, but knowing most of it had to go in the trash because she too was a hoarder. And it just breaks my heart. So go through it now. Go through it. And I know it's hard. It's not easy, but it's so much easier to do with your family, or with me, or with an organizer, and just talk about the stuff. Because it doesn't matter to other people if it's important to you or to them. It's important to you.
Right.
And we want to know those things.
Yeah. I love those words. Go through it now.
Yeah.
Love it. And because of my experience with my mom, these last few years, I've definitely worked on just living in a minimal way as possible.
Right.
I'm very conscious of that, and I tell my kids, my 2 kids, all the time. I'm like, I don't want you to have to sift through things, when I'm gone. So I'm very, very conscious of that and aware. But I might need your services anyways.
Sometimes I need my services too, Brigitte. So it's okay. Well, so Josh, Joshua Becker, right?
No.
You'll love him. I'm doing his course right now, his organizing course, Becoming Minimalist.
Oh.
He has an unclutter course. I sent him my book. He's actually on the back of the book. He endorsed my book.
Good.
Yes, I absolutely love him. And it's not about, he's very minimalist. They only have what they need. I need a little bit more than that, but it has also taught me, first coming out with this book and really reading my words. Because I'm always learning, right? There's stuff, right behind me is my storage storage space. There's stuff in there I need to go through. Like you just put it there and it's gone. It's making the time for it, right?
Right.
If we're moving, my daughter's gone. It's my husband and I in this huge house. We don't need all this stuff. We just have to make the time for it. So,
exactly.
But he has let me look at things in a different way. Is it important, or can it serve someone else? Can it be donated for someone else's joy? And, if it's just sitting on my shelf, just sitting there, and I'm not loving it or enjoying it, maybe someone else will.
Yeah, that's great. Lisa, are there going to be book signings?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. You can check. We're working on it now. I'm doing a bunch of little things. And actually, my first one, we haven't even organized it yet, but it's going to be at the Habitat Restore in Leesburg on the 25th. On the 25th from 1 to 3. And
good to know.
I love them. We donate stuff all the time. I've been their sponsor for years, and they opened up the room for me. So we're going to have, a little book signing. We'll put some couches together and just chat. And I think it'll be really nice. And I love them over there. And it's kind of funny because it's a place to buy things, but it's also a place to donate things too. So that's the purpose of, having it there, because there are places that raise money for the community, like the Restore and other, churches and nonprofits that need stuff that we don't want. Don't put it in the landfills. If that's one thing I can say, whatever you don't want in your house, someone else needs. Just don't put it in the garbage.
To find the right
Breaks my
places to
heart. Oh,
donate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good. That's good advice too.
Yeah.
Lisa, I believe in the concept of nourishing your soul, and that nourishment, of course, can take all kinds of different forms. How do you nourish your soul?
I sleep. I
Okay.
meditate. I do. I try to get, sometimes I'm in bed at 9 o'clock, I get up for the gym around 5:30. This morning I
Oh.
didn't because, like I said, I had a little sore throat from last night, from
Mhm.
yesterday. But go to the gym, go on walks, love my dog, pet my dog. She's 8-pound little guy, and I just love
Oh.
her. So there's
Oh.
lots of ways. And I like talking to people like this,
Yeah.
just having conversations and working on not being hard on myself. Like if I made a mistake, admit it. My daughter and I started that when I was young. Like if I said something, just admit it when it happens. And okay, I said the wrong thing, or that was a mistake. And that's helped me a lot, because, and I think it's the last 2 years writing this book has changed me. I've changed. I've realized the stupid things I do and things I say. And I think it's because of my ADD. And I'm not using it as an excuse, but sometimes life gets too much. And I mean, I preach my own, right? I reclaim my space mentally and physically all the time, because when you're overloaded, when there's too much, someone says something to you, or, and you just go boom. So I've,
Triggers.
yeah. And I've learned, like, okay, Lisa, don't get so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself,
That's so
and
important, our own positive self-talk,
right. Because there's a lot of negative in here, right? I say in, like, the boardroom in your head, that I'm the only person on all the seats, at all the chairs.
Yeah.
It gets a little tiring.
I know.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand completely. Believe me. Well, thank you for sharing that. And now I'm wondering if you could please leave us with some words of wisdom.
Oh, words of wisdom. I know you said this in the email, and I didn't want to give it any thought, because I guess my words of wisdom is, don't take life too seriously, and impress yourself. Because I say that to my daughter all the time. Impress yourself.
I love those words.
Yeah, I think that's the only. I used to say that I was a fitness instructor, and I used to say that in class. Just do one more bicep curl. Just impress yourself. Like, do one more thing you didn't think you could do. Doesn't have to be huge.
And it's not about the others, it's about what works for you. Yeah. That's beautiful, Lisa. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations on the book, and I wish it continued #1 ratings everywhere.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to get my hard copy.
Oh, it's so nice.
Come on February 25th.
Oh, yeah, please do.
And this is a powerful time to continue to love each other, to unite, and to live in peace. Thank you so much for joining me, Lisa. I honor the light in you.
Thank you so much for listening to Uno Souls Chat. You can find us at www.unosouls.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I would love to hear from you if you would like to chat with me. Have a beautiful week, and see you at the next episode.